Distributing to the necessity of the saints. Distributing. Can you believe that that word is the same word, koinonia? Yeah, can you believe that? I was so shocked when I found out. You see, Nayan, what does that mean? The only person who can explain that to us is Pastor Solomon. Pastor Solomon, come. Pastor Solomon is a top businessman in Accra. Okay, and his company that he and his family work for, they are the sole distributor of Malaysia. Do you know Malaysia? The deodorant spray Malaysia. If you've seen it before. Oh, boys, you should know Malaysia. Even I know Malaysia. Or Easy Waves. That one I think they may know better. So, what that means is that Malaysia is a company in which country?
Italy.
It's in Italy. Nobody else in Accra is allowed to sell Malaysia
At all.
except his company. He and his brother, their company. It's not allowed. That's what you call a sole distributor. So they've signed a contract. We are the only ones who will sell your products in Ghana. Anyone you see selling Malaysia, they bought it from him. He's the sole distributor. The sole distributor of everything that God has for you is the Holy Spirit. He's the only one. You know, I tell you, there's nothing that God can give you without giving it to you through the Holy Spirit. I'll show you. John 16:13. Jesus said, howbeit when he, the Spirit of truth, is come. Are you there? He will do what? Guide you into all truth. Is anybody interested in God? Like God scriptures and God things? I don't know. Are you really interested? Okay. No. Yeah, I'm just asking. You don't have to stand. You don't have to feel everybody standing, so you are standing. He shall not speak of himself, but whatsoever he shall hear. You know, this is very precious to me. So, if you are not really interested, you shouldn't come for something like this, okay? Whatsoever he shall hear, that shall he speak. Give me my verse, please. I'm reading. And he will show you things to come. 14. He will glorify me. Now look at this. Are you watching? He shall receive of mine. Okay, Pastor Terry. Okay. This is Jesus speaking. He says, everything that I have to give, okay, the Holy Spirit will receive it from me, and he is the only one who can show it to you. No, that would have been bad enough. Then in verse 15, he says, I want to clarify. All that the Father has, Jesus was explaining that it's with me already. That's why I said that he will take of mine, which means he's taking from the Father, from Jesus, everything that God. Come on. What does that mean? It means that when you don't relate to the Holy Spirit as the distributor, you cut yourself off from the pipe for which God gives everything. Tell me what God gives. Tell me what God gives. God gives holiness. God gives righteousness. God gives salvation. God gives money. God gives direction. God gives grace. God gives guidance. God gives goodness. God gives mercy. God gives forgiveness. God gives confidence. God brings healing. All the things that the Father has that you've ever read about or known about, they all come through the Holy Spirit. It's the only one. How do I know? If ye then be risen with Christ, seek those things which are above, where Christ seated on the right hand side of God. That verse gives us the location of two of the Godhead. The Father and the Son, they are all in heaven. They are not here to give you anything. They are not here. They are not around. That's why we sing the song that I think is Keith Green who wrote it. When he says, thank you, oh my Father, for giving us your Son and leaving your Spirit till your work on earth is done. Because the Holy Spirit has been left behind to distribute. That's why people can do not much for God. Got saved when I was 21. I had 3 girlfriends. 26 now. Still have 3 girlfriends. Is that God didn't promise holiness? Oh, sure, there'll be holiness in Zion. Been a pastor for 4 years. Been a pastor of 300 people. That's it. Never been able to do anything. Been a pastor of 5 people. Been a pastor of 22 people. Is there not more? There's more of everything. Been saved for 10 years. Been broke for 10 years. Been saved for 15 years, been unemployed for 15 years. I'm saved but suicidal. I'm saved but depressed. I'm saved but empty. Saved but sad. Saved but single. Saved but everything. Because the distributor, the person of the Holy Spirit, has not come into my life. So I never ask him for anything. And I never seek him for anything. But I read about things that are available to people who are saved. I read about wisdom. I'm the biggest fool in the church. I read about self-control. Can't seem to control myself. I read about joy, but I cry myself to sleep every night. I read about healing, but I come to church sick every day. All that the Father has is mine. That's why I said that when the Spirit comes, He's going to give everything. Everything comes to the Holy Spirit. His presence brings everything. His power is what changes people's lives. Until He comes, it's nothing. The power of God is hidden in His person. So, everything you read about will continue to be a fallacy until the Holy Spirit comes into your life and until you start to relate with Him as a distributor from tomorrow. From tomorrow. Ask Him, Holy Spirit, supply the wisdom. Supply the wisdom. Every time people say, pray for me before I write an exam, I like to say the same thing. May God make you the head and not the tail. These are scriptures, above only and not beneath. But who's going to do it? Not Jesus, He's in heaven. He said, everything I have for you, everything the Father has for you, I've handed over to the Holy Spirit. So people who don't develop a deep fellowship with the Holy Spirit, they never have peace. They are saved, but Holy Spirit.